think the message of this first week is to get yourself into practicing every day. Certainly I'll be doing that. We've got a couple of weird Thursdays coming up that there should be plenty of time. I don't think we'll be doing it on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve just because of the culture we live in. But let's go ahead and be ready for the third Wednesday out, which is in January. After that, what would it, I don't know, 5th or 6th in there somewhere. Whoa, that's a big day coming up too. But let's plan on that three Thursdays from now. But get yourself in the mood or in the habit of practicing your alphabet. Now I'm going to show you something I'm going to do that's a pretty good way to do it, and I'm going to be using Google Docs because they're free. I like them. And the first thing I'm going to do is use that keyboard that I installed, that you've got instructions for, and I'm going to switch to a very large font, and I'm going to do a right justification because, as you know, Hebrew is read from right to left like Japanese is. And I'm going to go ahead, I like the serif, so I'm going to use a Times Roman, and I'm going to use a large font, so probably a 48 maybe, and press enter, and you can see I've done that. And when I use my Windows key, that's Windows space, I get my Hebrew keyboard. And so if I type alef-bet, that's a vet, and then a bet and a dagesh, that's a bet. And then I've got to remember, let's see, C, and this is where this document over here comes in pretty handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch. This is the slideshow that I sent you, and so I've got an aleph and a vet, and then a bet, which is got a dagesh, or that dot in it that looks like a boat, and then I see the guillotine man rides a camel. So aleph, vet, bet, gamel. It's a G actually, right? So you notice how your cursor goes all the way over here to the right. Don't freak out. You're still, when you're typing, right justification. You're going to see that. So now I'm going to choose the dalet, and I probably could have remembered that A, B, say, aleph, bet, gimel, dalet. And so let me put my so aleph, bet, gimel, dalet. Now the next one to look at is a hey, and that's like the H, okay? And then for number 6, it's a vav, so I'm going to go ahead and type in the vav, and then the seventh value is a zayin, and so I'm going to go ahead and type in zayin, and I'm trying to remember this. I can pretty well look at the letters now and know what they are, but to actually A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I don't do that very well. So this is a chet, or in the Hanukkah chet, and so I'm going to go a Shift H. You notice I'm using the Tyndall keyboard. It's very easy to remember where these keys are because of the association with the English language. And in this case, it's a tet. It's not a straight T because the tav and the sav are used in that, because they're a lot more common, the T key. So you have to use a shift T. Remember that. And then you actually have you can install a keyboard representation, a virtual keyboard. And so when you see the and I push the shift key, you see how the T becomes a tet. If I lower it, the T key becomes a tav or a sav. So, keep that in mind. They're a little bit here and there. And you notice when I'm going to move that back over to the screen. When I want to go to the next letter, and that would be the 10th letter, which is the same as ours really, which is a J or a Yud. By the way, my name is Jonathan. Yeah. And so when Mr. Tyndall, William, my uncle, way back when in the Tyndall village there, he used a J to render the Yud and the Ya sound because of the way, I don't know, it's probably Greek. And so, instead of saying Jonathan or Jonathan, somehow it became Jonathan. Remember that. There are connections to our language, our English language, and Greek and Latin, and therefore we have connections to Hebrew. So when I put my cursor down here, it's out at the end, even though I'm typing, and if I hit the home key, then it's the wrong place. If I hit the end key, it actually puts it there for me, but that's good. So Yud is a J, right? But you notice how it flipped back over to there to the right? Don't worry about it. So a J is a Yud. And then we have the, oh man, this is a mess. This is Kaf. To me, it just looks complicated. And if I Kaf out the eyeball of the carp, I get the Kaf sound. And it's not the same as the Chit sound, and I don't know how to advise you to say it because I don't say it right. But notice that we jumped from the value of 10 to 20. Now that's an important thing too. So in order to type in Chaf, I've got the keys down there at the bottom for you to remember, but basically it's the Kaf without the Ch, Kaf, and then another Kaf would be a K again, pressing the K key, but this time I want to press the Dagesh, which is the dot for the eyeball, and it changes the sound from Ka to Ka, okay, and don't get worried. And then I want to have a Kaf Sofit, so I can do the Shift K, gives me a Kaf Sofit, and if there is such a thing, I can do a Shift K Dagesh, which is a Chaf Sofit. Sofit means ending. I don't know where that comes from, but we'll figure that out sometime. It looks kind of like the word soffit to me, and maybe Joshua or somebody smart can tell me where it comes from. In this case, the lamed is the L sound, so JKL. There's a connection there, isn't there? Yeah, because the first alphabet was not Greek; it was Hebrew. So go ahead and keep your faith on that. God gave the language, not the Greeks. Thank goodness. So I'm ready for the L sound, and notice how I just typed the L. I don't even have to look at you. I know where or look at the keyboard. And guess what? What do you think a mem would be? Do you think it would be the M? Well, sure enough, it's M. And then an M Sofit, or a final mem, would be a Shift M. Notice that I'm not looking at my keyboard, I'm just typing. So it's very easy. The mem letter is the M sound, or the M key. Now I'm going to go next to the nose, what looks like a nose to some people. And guess what? It starts with an N. So where do you think that key would be? If you guessed Nun, you would be as right as me. And if you did a shift N, you'd get a nun sofit or a final N. Okay, because a lot of words, Jonathan, for example, my name ends with a nun sofit. So I'm going to go over here, and this one, man, I rarely see this one. I'm not sure. It looks like you notice how I put the sans serif font there for you to see it, and I also put this serif font. By the way, when you maximize your slideshow, you'll be able to see these little characters a lot better. But the stomach to me looks like, the Samech stomachs are round, is how I remembered it. So I'm going to just put in an S. You notice how that worked? And because it's a Samech. Okay. Now this one is called an ayin. And you look at it and it kind of looks like a lowercase y. And you should, ayin is an important letter. It's everywhere. Kind of substitutes for a certain sound that they like in Hebrew. And you notice if I type in a Y, up it comes. Now, the next messy one is this, is the fe and the pay. Now, the pay, the P sound, is the letter that is used for the keyboard. And but the pay has to have the eyeball. And so the fe would have a dropped eyeball. And so it's the fairest of all is Patricia with the I. So you'd want to have Patricia in your dining room rather than Faye. So it's a Faye and a Pay. Well, not really. Just you're trying to remember it. So, the first thing is to type in the P, which is a Pay, and then we're gonna do a Faye, but I need the eyeball. So that's a Faye or a Pay with an eyeball, or a dagesh. All right. There's a reason for all this. Now, then this next one is the character used in. It's called Zadik, and it means righteousness. The word Zadik means righteousness, and Melchizedek was the king of righteousness. So I really like this letter. It's a beautiful letter. You're going to see it. A lot of people like it too. So a Zadik is not done with a Z. That was the Zayin, the zebra. And you need a Zadik Sofit, so they put it on the C key. So you got one of those. You got to kind of remember. Sounds kind of Zadik, maybe. And then the shift Zadik is the final Zadik. Now, coming up on value number 100, we've been not talking about 100, but you'd want to use a cane, which is the Q key at age 100, right? So that's the value of it. A lot of times you can fill in the values as you go. And then, after using your cane, it kind of looks like a cane. This is the Rish. And it looks like a backwards R. The little cartoon is a rainbow Rish. Looks like a backwards R. And so, that's going to be the R key. Next one that's a little bit on the messy side is either Shift Q for the scene, or the Shift W for the sheen with a sheep sound. Okay, and the sheep has an I, and the scene I is at the back of the sheep. And I don't know how you remember, but these little pictures down here. The left is a scene. It could also mean sinister. I'm not sure if there is an actual connection to that, but I've seen that used as a mnemonic. This is a value of 300. And so I can type, I put it down there back in its So I want to first do a scene or a sheen, or a scene. So I do a shift Q, and then I do a sheen, which is a shift W. Okay. Now, if you know your keys on the keyboard, that's not hard to do. All right, and here we are, already to the final letter, right? Now I'm gonna, in a minute here, I'm gonna demonstrate my ability to remember. Ha! Well, all right. So tav actually is sav. Most of the time, the tav, which is the T, and you notice that type there, the tav is always pronounced T, like T, all right? And then if you want to do a tav instead of a sav, you do the tav and the dagesh again. So there's your alphabet. There's really not that many letters in Hebrew, and not that many to try to remember. All right, so I promised, and I'm going to do this live, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll this up. And so what I want to do is come down a few lines, right? And then scroll this up. And so I can remember Aleph. Now, that's not an A, that's an X. It kind of looks like an X, doesn't it? Alef-bet. That's a B, but that's a vet. So I'm going to do another B and then a dagesh. I can't remember how to, I don't touch type the plus sign very much. Alef-bet, Gimel, Dalet, Vav. So 5, no, I'm going to remember. That's Hey. Ha! So I can do I remember where the backspace is, touch typing. Hey, that's a 5. A 6 is a Vav. A lot of times it helps to remember the position. Alef-bet, Vav, 7 is a Zayin, because Zion zebras are Zion cool, right? Zayin and 7, 8. That's a Chet. Yeah, because 8 days of Hanukkah. So I can shift Chet. 9. 9's a tet. So I'm going to do a shift T. Yep, look at that. Tet. And a Yud. That's a J. And now the 20 value. Ooh, that's that messy one. Kaf. And a Kaf with a dagesh. And Kaf. Ooh, there's a Sofit. There's an ending Kaf. So I'm going to do a shift K and a shift K dagesh. See? Got it. Now, 30. Ooh, I remember 30 is the lamed. So I'm going to do it. There it is. And I forgot to say JKL. That's a lot easier. There's no and LM mem. Haha. There's no mem dagesh. I don't know. Maybe there is, but mem, and then mem sofit, which is the shift M, and then noon, and then noon sofit. Hey. You know, if lamed was 30, mem is 40, noon is 50. So, boy, does that mean 60 is resh, N, or is it O? No. No, that is not right. I got to do it. Is it a samek? Looks kind of like an O. I don't think so. And a resh. So I'm probably on my own. Now I'm getting kind of hazy. I kind of remember. I kind of don't. I got a resh, a scene. Oh, that's the sheep. And a scene. Ooh, no. I'm going to do a lot of shift Q, shift W. Boy, what have I forgotten? A tav and a tav. I missed a lot of them. So, I don't know. What's my score? Oh my. Okay. So I can see I did pretty well up to the lamed and the mem. Mem, Sofit, Nun. Ooh, look, I did get the oh, no! I forgot the ayin. Of course, that comes right after the Samic. And then I've got the pay, or the Fey without the I, and the pay with the I. I missed. And then I missed the Zadik, one of my favorite letters, and the Zadik, final Zadik, and look at that. So, man, I got all of these wrong. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6, I didn't get the kaf. I did get the resh, sin, sheen, tav, and tab. So if I was to grade myself, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 31, 32. So I got 20. So gain, I got 26 of 32 that I wanted to study. Now I'm gonna do it again. I'll bet I get a better score. This is how you have to do it. You have to do it daily, and you have to try to start reading Hebrew even before you get the books. So this is you're going to learn a little bit more tonight about the books, what we've got to do to get them. And so anyway, this is the way you study the first week. Be sure and learn this alphabet. We're going to have testers here to test you and see if you remember and give you a score so that you can say, yep, I got 100%, or I got in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s. I think you'll probably do better than I did. So after I've been studying it now for a couple of months. So